have habits that you really want to change, but you find yourself getting stuck in a rut and doing the same things over and over again? Or perhaps you have a goal that just seems too far away in the future and you really don't know how to begin? Well, if this sounds like you, you've come to the right place, because in this video, I'm going to share with you 2 really awesome techniques that can help you create and sustain really positive habits whilst also kicking those bad habits to the curb. And if you're wondering, who am I to talk to you about this? Well, my name's Tricia Maitland, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and coach practicing in Bath, UK and online. And I'm super passionate about helping you get rid of anything that's holding you back so that you can live your life to the full. So let's begin with our first really awesome technique. And it comes from the book, The Happiness Advantage by Shawn Achor. And the technique is called the 20-second rule. And what this technique boils down to is whatever habit you want to do, you make it easier for yourself. And whatever habit you don't want to do, you make it harder for yourself, which sounds pretty straightforward, right? So let me give you an example of this. I really enjoy listening to my guided meditation at night as I'm drifting off to sleep, because it really helps me go to sleep and have better quality sleep. What I've been doing is I've been using my mobile phone to play the recording. But what I was finding is that in the morning when I'd wake up, I'd grab my mobile phone because it was just by my bed, and I'd start scrolling through social media, which I can tell you is a very bad way to start the day. So what I did is I got my trusty old iPod, which I have here, which is, over 10 years old. And so what I do is I use this now to play my recording. And it's made a massive difference because it means I'm just getting up straight away and getting on with my day. And an example of a habit that I wanted to do and to start and continue is to do my morning yoga routine. So what I did to help myself is that in the evening, I'll lay out my yoga mat and I'll get my exercise clothes in a pile so they're ready to put on as soon as I get up. And what that means is I've gotten rid of any sort of roadblocks to prevent me from getting on the mat, because it's just there. So I just get up and I do it. So the reason why this works is, if we look at it from a neuroscience perspective, our brains are hardwired to want to take the easy route. So our brains don't want us to do the hard stuff, even though we know that in the long run, it's going to make us feel better. The other side of it is that when we're learning new habits, we're having to use a lot more willpower, and willpower is a bit like a muscle. Do my muscles there. And we know that when we overuse our muscles, they get weaker. And so we want to remove any roadblocks from the habits that we want to do and put any roadblocks in the way for the habits we don't want to do, because then we're not relying on our willpower as much, which we know is going to run out, particularly when we're at night and we're surfing the net, or we're wanting to grab, some sweet treat from the cupboard. We know in those times we don't want to rely on our willpower. We want to have really good habits in place that are going to help us stick to our goals. So some other examples could be you want to eat healthier. So you pre-plan meals and you make meals at the start of the week, so you've got something ready on hand. And similarly, you hide the chocolate biscuits in the back of the cupboard that you need a step ladder to reach, or perhaps you don't even have them in the house. Another example could be that you want to stop using social media as much, so you delete the apps from your phone. So then it's much harder for you to access those services. So the second technique comes from the book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And this is one that I've only come across recently, but I think it's really, really brilliant. And this one's called the 2-minute rule, which is obviously a bit longer than the 20-second rule. And this rule states that to start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. So the reason why this is so effective is that often we all set a goal, but we don't think about the steps we need to get there. And so it just seems too hard and we just give up. So instead, we need to establish the habit first and make it as easy and enjoyable as possible. So then we're creating that foundation that's going to make it easier for us to then build upon. The example that James gave was a man who wanted to get fit, but came from a place of being quite unfit. So what he did, applying this 2-minute rule, is that he went to the gym every day, but only for 2 minutes. Now, you can't do much for 2 minutes. I'm sure he could only manage like half a rep or something like that. But what he was doing is he was showing up every day, and he was laying the foundation that he went to the gym. And so once he got used to the habit of going every day, he then could build upon it. And 2 minutes could become 5, could become 10, could become 20, could become a whole session. And then he's working towards achieving his goal. And I like what James says. He said, you need to standardize before you optimize. You can't improve on a habit that's not already there. So other examples are, you want to write a book. Well, write for 2 minutes a day, or even start with writing 1 word a day. You want to practice playing the piano. Well, practice for 2 minutes a day. You want to have a clean room. Well, put stuff away for 2 minutes a day. So you can see how you can apply it to your everyday life, and it can really, really make a difference. And I'll leave you with a quote from James, which I found quite inspiring, which is, the most effective way to change your habits is to focus not on what you want to achieve, but on who you wish to become. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I'd really love to hear from you if you've got a tip that helps you implement good habits or get rid of bad habits, because I'm always interested in learning new tools and techniques. Otherwise, please share with anyone who you think needs to get on top of their habits. And if you really like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, really looking forward to see you in the next video, and I really, really hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.